Good afternoon, YouTube, and welcome back once again to Fat Cat Collections. Today, guys, I'm excited. Super excited. So excited. Once again to share with you another amazing watch. This is by a company that goes by the name of RGMT. Let's just go do a little quick show and tell here on the box, right? Pretty cool. Like the fact they put it in an exterior box. A lot of times when I've received watches, either that I purchased for a review, most of the time watches just come in the actual case, right? Usually there's not an exterior box. Now I know Invicta does do that. Other times it's just basically like a, an outer sleeve. Pretty cool that they have their branding across the box. And if you can't tell already, it's very military inspired. We have sort of the chevrons as part of the M on the RGMT. And we're going to go to the website and just talk a little bit about the company. We're going to see what information is there. This is kind of an unboxing. Most time when I do a video review, I've already worn it for a little while, or I've briefly checked out the company and I've learned a little bit about it. Right now, we're pretty much showing you guys this right out of the box. I just picked this up a couple hours ago, so pretty excited. Now, if you're not familiar with RGMT, they are a brand underneath Dartmouth brand. So some of the brands under Dartmouth are the Nubayo watch I just reviewed the other day. If you haven't checked it out, check it out. And killer watch. Some of the other brands are like well, let's just go ahead and take a look here. I should have this pulled up already, but Dartmouth brands, kind of similar to like, Swatch owns Omega and several other brands. The brands under Dartmouth are, what we got? We got AVI 8, we have Spinnaker, that's what I was drawing a blank on. Thomas Earnshaw, Nubayo, of course, RGMT, James McCabe, Ballast. You've seen a Ballast on this channel already. CCCP, Duxot, D-U-X-O-T, I'm not sure, Duxot, Cadallo, Dufa, again, I'm probably butchering these names, Bert, I give up, FJ4, F Jord, and a few other brands. So they have a lot of different brands underneath their, I guess their parent company, their owner of the company, right? So pretty cool. I've discovered this brand, RGMT. I've seen them over the years, kind of passed by them. A lot of times when I reach out to companies, not every company gets back to me. Really excited to have this collaboration with Dartmouth brands because they have a lot of different watches, and as I've already read to you, a lot of different brands. I am so impressed with the Nubayo watch they sent me the other day, and I'm really pleased to say that you're going to see a lot more from this particular company very soon. I mean, it sounds like we're going to have an ongoing collaboration, and that's fantastic because as a watch addict myself, it's fantastic to get new watches in my collection. It allows me to own these things, wear them, review them, re-review them, come back years later, and really put them to the test, see how they're holding up. And that's really important when it comes down to, bang for buck. And you guys know on this channel, I'm all about affordable, valued watches, right? And again, value is there's some perception there, and also with value, it is subjective. People perceive value differently, and value is very subjective. Not everybody's looking for the same things when it comes to value. A guy may value a $20,000 Rolex, whereas I wouldn't, and vice versa. So keep that in mind anytime I review a watch. It is always subjective, but I can tell you there are some check marks that watch companies generally will try to hit, and check marks for the consumer on things that they want in a watch. Now, I'm pretty open-minded. I know out of owning, 165 watches by different brands and work with many different companies, I know that quality across the board is all pretty similar. It really comes down to price points. Again, a few of those check boxes. And of course, most importantly, does this watch speak to you? Not literally, but, does this watch interest you? Do you want to wear it? Are you drawn to it? And that ultimately, if we're all buying watches just for telling time, you could buy a, $5 digital watch and call it a day, right? But that's not why we buy watches. Sure, we buy watches because they also tell time, but mainly these are fashion pieces, and you're getting a certain look for a certain price. And I tell you, this company is addictive too. They have so many different models of watches that, the only other company I see with this many models is like Invicta. I mean, they have tons of different brands. So I love the overly aggressive, chunky style watch. Again, I like all watches, but I love that look when it comes to like the dive watches. So without further ado, let's check it out. So RGMT, pretty awesome. This is called their Torpedo. I'm not going to give you the reference number because what I'm going to do is link to this in the description. I'll link you where I might be able to find this, and I haven't really looked too hard yet. I know on their website it is sold out in almost every color. So time will tell on whether or not they're just doing a website update. I will get you information and drop it in the comment section, just so, because you see these videos and you want to buy this stuff, and I hate when a company is sold out. But what I would encourage you to do is, if you are interested in this, you can enter your email address and hit send, and they'll get back to you. But just drop me a comment, I'll get you the answer. So first off, box, very cool. I like when dive watches come in dive cases like this. Although I'm not one to display a watch in the box, I love when they come in something of high quality like this. And this is great because I use these when I'm going boating. I use these for little knickknacks, you know, extra links, stuff like that. So these always get used. If you're moving, these are great to store your watches. But when you have 160 watches, you also have 160 watch boxes. So they take up a lot of room, and I generally only keep the ones like this that actually are really nice, right? I don't really keep the Invicta cardboard. I keep, you know, stuff like this. So very similar in design to some of the Delta T watches I've reviewed, but a better quality case. The Delta T ones are more of a rigid plastic, whereas this, I feel like you could drop this and it's not going to crack. So very similar to what Invicta does on their dive cases, and also very similar to what you're going to get on like a Harbor Freight gun case. Durable, very nice, like a Pelican case, right? Pretty cool. And again, when I opened it up, I was like, oh, very, you know, same cases. A lot of the other, you know, Chinese brands out there, a lot of the other micro brand companies, it's not. This is much nicer quality. So pretty cool. You do have a pressure release valve here. Not sure if you're going to be using that, you know, for anything. But again, for me, great to bring on the boat. Prop my cell phone in there. If you have a problem, we got something to protect the gear, right? Your cell phone. Let me pop it open here. All right, so here is the bread and butter, right? Really cool looking watch. Plus, it's an automatic. And you guys know I like all watches. I like quartz too, but I really am drawn to the automatics. I think like most watch enthusiasts, we like that, the mechanical aspect of it, right? So let me just pop this out of the box here. Well, let me just first show you what you get. You get an extra band, which for me, you know, silicone band, I'm not a huge fan of silicone bands. There are a few times I've worn them. Generally, they're like in the bright orange or like in a nice, you know, bright color. But with this here, this isn't going to get used because I'm a bracelet guy. It's just personal preference. I think, though, with this particular watch, it would have been more suited to include not the black band, but maybe this strap in orange. Because we do have some orange accents. I think it would have been like a fun, just a more fun accessory to change out, right? But it's cool to give it to you nonetheless. You could always find something to use it on. You do have a tool, which I took out already because I sized this. It's just your standard spring bar remover, the fork, and then a push bar on the other side. Again, not the best design, because if you're going to be using that to remove the band, if you're going to be using that to size it, you have to tap on the back of that on the fork with a hammer or jeweler's hammer, hopefully not a sledgehammer, right? And you're going to destroy it. So I did destroy it using mine, but I have other fork tools. But it would be better to have two tools, right? One for removing the pins and one for changing out the band. Not a big deal. Just kind of keep that in mind if you are getting this and you're going to size it. If you want to utilize that push pin remover or spring bar remover, make sure you don't destroy it like I did. Get some paperwork in here, instruction manual, a little bit about, let me see what else you get here. A little bit about the flashlight they give you, instructions, and of course a warranty card. I'm not going to show you this stuff because ultimately you don't really care. As far as the flashlight, kind of a gimmick, but I'm going to tell you, and I'm not, if this was a standard flashlight, I'd be like, all right, cool, they threw in a cheap flashlight, right? But what I like about this, and I'm telling you, this is going to get used, is that this is a, you know, your standard LED flashlight, right? No big deal. But it's a USB rechargeable light. And this is going to be great because I can tell you, and I'm not trying to sell you here on the friggin' flashlight, but I can tell you, all my flashlights have batteries, and I'm always running into a situation where I don't have one that has good batteries, or I can't find one. So this is great. No matter what your situation, camping, whatever, you'll always have a flashlight. You can pop into a USB port, a power bank, whatever, and charge it up right quick. So that's great. If this was just a regular flashlight, I'd be like, all right, well, you know, who cares? But It's great. It's rechargeable. So that's I think a little bit of a step above your standard cheapo LED light you'll find in Dollar Tree, right? Now let's get to the watch. Now, this has already been sized. We have this on a shark mesh. Now, a lot of times when I've seen micro brand companies, and I'm going to consider this a micro brand company, when it comes to shark mesh, there's a lot of different shark mesh bands or straps you can get, or bracelets, right? If you've been watching me for a while, what is one company that I always refer to when it comes to buying their shark mesh straps? It's Aragon, right? Because they have some of the best shark mesh straps that I personally have seen in the business. A lot of the straps you see on affordable watches tend to be the crappier ones, right? They're not that good. This is, to me, exactly what Aragon's using on their shark mesh bands or straps. Bracelets. I always screw that up. So you're getting a great quality bracelet on this. And that was one thing when they said they were going to send me this, that I was like, ooh, it's on shark mesh. And I said to myself, well, we're going to see what the quality looks like on this. Because again, I bought some of those $10 bracelets on eBay, on AliExpress for watches that I come on leather, and I want to put them on some kind of inexpensive bracelet. And don't get me wrong, they're stainless steel, they're functional, but they're not the quality that you get with the Aragon versions. This, to me, whoever Aragon's using for their shark mesh, this company is using the same manufacturer. It is identical. Exceptional quality bracelet on this thing. You have your adjustable links, which I've already removed 5. Let me see. Let me remove here. Yeah, I removed 5 of them, okay? So for a 7-inch wrist, this fits me perfectly now. You do have some micro adjustments. You have 5 different micro adjustments. I have mine sized all the way to the smallest. I might take out one more link and open up that micro adjustment. Not really for any particular reason, but I may do that. We'll see. You do have a dual push button deployant clasp and lock. Definitely, folks. Better, in my opinion, than a lot of the Invicta straps or a lot of the Invicta bracelets. It is milled, it's not stamped. Again, that's a personal preference. One I don't think personally is better than the other, but it just looks a little bit nicer. I still have some protective coating on this thing too, but that's okay. You do have the RGMT logo. I like the fact that they didn't actually put the letters on the back of the clasp, they just put the logo, which kind of cleans it up a little bit. And let me just make sure I'm not putting my foot in my mouth. Yeah, so that's pretty cool. And again, you have an exceptional quality bracelet on this thing. Now, let's get to the watch. Specifics. I'm not going to read you what they state on here, but again, I hope they correct this because they have on their website Japan automatic 3-hand with date. Folks, the last one I reviewed is the Seiko NH37, I think it was. It was one of the NH series, 35 or 37. I'm drawing a blank. But to the best of my knowledge, on their automatics, they are using Seiko automatic movement. So whether it be the 35, 36, 37, 38, how many different NH versions they make, you get that Seiko quality. And I believe... and I will definitely update this in the description and in the comment section after the company sees this video, and they'll let me know that it's, yep, for sure it's Seiko, because that's a huge deciding factor, and that is one of the check boxes that watch collectors and people who buy watches look for, right? The NH35 or any of the NH series movements are what they refer to as, I hate these this lingo, but they call them the workhorse movements. They're super reliable. They're as good as any other movement out there. I mean, throw them next to a Rolex, in my opinion, because really there's differences in the accuracy and regulation of a lot of movements, but ultimately at the end of the day, there's not that much of a difference. So you're getting a really great quality automatic movement. And for those watch collectors out there, and I don't want to say watch snobs, but a lot of those collectors out there, if it doesn't have that branded movement, they're not interested. I think again, movement or RGMT and some many of their other watch brands, I'm sure across the board under the Dartmouth name, but also definitely under Nubeo, they're not listing that this is the Seiko NH series. So they're doing themselves a disservice by not putting that on their site, because some people will just be like, oh, automatic 3-hand movement, it's probably some, and there's nothing wrong with the Chinese seagull. There's nothing wrong with any of those movements. But a lot of people, it doesn't check the box. So they need to add that, because that checks the box for a lot of people in the watch community. Okay, so Come on, guys, add that to your website. We are looking at 316 stainless steel across the board, bracelet, clasp, everything. This amazing, killer-looking dive watch. I think Omega makes something similar. I think even Rolex might have made something very similar to this. It's a very unique design. It's big, it's bold, but in my opinion, not being too big and bold, right? You're still looking at that 50.5 millimeter case with a 16.4 millimeter case thickness. To us desensitized guys, we're like, oh, that's a normal size. It's a big watch, absolutely. It is subjective. It depends on the person. It does have a sapphire lens with anti-reflective coating, so again, that checks the box. And I think they're really smart in doing that. Although, a guy like me, I know when it comes to crystals and watches that there really isn't much of a difference in the real world. I've never scratched or damaged any of them, no matter what they're made out of, but that's me. And most folks out there are going to look at a watch and say, all right, let's look at the list, right? The list, what kind of crystal? Bam, we have that sapphire, check the box. We have the NH35 or 36, whatever they're using is, we got it, we checked the box, respectable automatic movement, right? And then of course we have, what is it made out of? And that's the other, those are my top 3 when it comes to, purchasing a watch. We have 316 stainless steel, and we have a lot of it. The other things that come into mind are like, what's the lume look like? What kind of bezel action? To me, none of that really matters as long as the bezel isn't gritty. A watch like this, it's just a nice, it's a stiff bezel, of course. It's not going to turn as smooth as some of the other bezels, but mainly that's because we have kind of a little bit tougher ratcheting mechanism, and of course we don't have a lot of area to grip this. Again, unless you're actually using these underwater, that might be a concern to you. For me, this is like, all right, I might go on break, or I need to put a pizza in the oven. Let me move that bezel. To me, I barely even use it. What's most important is, what does the watch look like? What is the quality? What is the materials? And what kind of vibe do I get wearing it? And this is absolutely killer. This is right up on my like what I'm looking for in a dive watch. I don't want to get something that looks like every other standard. You would see so many micro brand companies making watches that look like the Submariner. It's the same old story. And don't get me wrong, guys, I like those watches, but something like this is unique. I don't have anything else in my collection, and when you have 160 watches, it becomes very difficult to stay unique, right? I love the way this looks. Now, it is available in a couple different colors. You guys know I'm not a green fan, but if many people are, again, I joked with my contact. I'm like, I like money that's green. But again, it depends on what country you live. You're up in Canada, it may, that's a different color cash, right? So it just depends. Green, again, not really my thing, but they do make it in green. As far as the other color combinations they make, you can get this in a black face, almost like I think it's more like a brick face with a red bezel, the kind of charcoal face with the blue bezel, the black on black with red. Is that red? Is that this one? The black with red accents. Again, sorry, I didn't mention it. Those are actually the quartz versions. When we go down to the automatic version, we have the all green face with bezel, blue face bezel, blue bezel, blue face, and of course the black on black. Those other color variations look like they come with a different color strap. They all still have what appear to be, from this website, the orange accents around the hands, around the dial, which, again, guys, if you watch me, I love orange when it's applied to a dive watch. I really like this one. They originally were going to send me the blue, and they didn't have it in stock on their end anymore, so they sent me the black. I just said, don't send me the green, but the green is very, very tactical to me. The green is very military-ish, so definitely going to appeal to a lot of people. I like the black that it has those orange accents. And then right around the helium release valve, and I believe that's what this is, that I can tell. And again, I just feel like, let me just go back to their site. You do get 1,000 meters of water resistance. Keep that in mind. They don't list, and again, this is one of those things, like, they don't, that I can tell, they don't list that it has the helium release valve. And from what I can tell, that is exactly what that is on the side there. So pretty cool. They have the crown on the opposite side of the watch as well. So those who are a little more sensitive with things digging in to your wrist, that's a plus. But, again, if you are sensitive like that, you probably aren't going to gravitate towards a 50 millimeter watch. So absolutely stunning. They have that 1,000 meters right inside letting you know. It appears that it is like almost like an anodized aluminum label on the side. Pretty cool. I'm not sure if it's actually recessed into the case. You know, everybody likes something different. Some folks may say, I don't like that. I personally think it's pretty cool. It's really showing off the depth reading and, of course, that helium release valve. And I like the fact that they have that anodized kind of orange right around that valve. It really makes it look... it's just that little extra color, you know. Orange is known to be like the dive watch color, right? I've had disagreements with people, not bad ones, but people say that the best color to see underwater is not orange. I've read that orange is the best color. It doesn't really apply to a helium release valve, but I still like the accent. Anytime I see a dive watch that has that orange, and I've got my eye on another RGMT, you know, I like it. I like it a lot. Pretty cool case back. You have the RGMT logo on the back. 1,000 meters. Got those bragging rights right in the back. It's pretty cool that they put the... I like an exhibition window as well, but you've seen one automatic movement, you've seen them all. I like that they kept it all stainless steel. It just has a very robust feel. And I'll tell you right now, folks, we want to compare this to something like an Aqua Dive that runs you $2,000, a Doxa, same thing. The quality's on par. You just don't have to spend a ton of money. Now, price point in this, as I put my foot in my mouth, you know, they don't have the price point listed on their website right now, but I'm sure that'll be listed. I'm going to estimate the price point of this is going to be anywhere from like $5,000 to $1,000. That's what I'm estimating. Let me just go back and see if any of the other colors might have the price point. And again, these are things that I think that they really need to kind of iron out, because people want to know what things cost and they want to see it available on your site. So they don't have it listed. So just like with their quartz movement, they have Japanese automatic chronograph. Most likely it's probably a Ronda on those, and most likely the quartz chronograph versions are going to be a little bit cheaper than the automatics, but you know, we'll see as time goes on here. I'm sure they'll get back to me and let me know what the price point is on this. I was going to wait to do the video and then ask them, but I get too excited when I get something new. So let me take some close-up shots here. Just stunning. Beautiful crown. If you ever, you know, a lot of guys are like, oh man, you know, this crown's smooth. This is, you know, most of the watches I reviewed all have pretty nice crowns. I don't really have anything that's gritty, like some folks make claims of. It's your classic NH35 crown. You know, it's smooth. It doesn't, you know, there's no grit going on there. It's your standard NH35, nice and easy to screw down. And again, this is a watch that just feels like a tool watch. You know, it just feels like something I could just really beat the living hell out of, and it's gonna last. You know, and I do feel that with all, you know, 99% of my watches. But this just has a very robust, very I mean, without lack of a better word, very real feel to it. You know, when I feel this, I feel like this is a... Just to give you an example, I love Sterling watches, right? They're cool too. But when I grab a Sterling dress watch, one of their skeleton versions, I don't feel like it could take a lot of abuse. I feel like it's a nice watch. It's not meant for you to go banging it on the bottom of the ocean floor. With this, just like the Aqua Dives, like a lot of the Invictas, you know, to be honest with you, I'm going to go a little bit further and state that even on some of the Invictas, I don't... As much as I love the quality, as high quality as they are, they start to get very pretty, right? Whereas this, it's very robust, and that's the best word I could describe it. It just feels like something that was designed to be used, you know, and that's the vibe I get from a lot of those micro brand watches, these micro brand dive watches specifically, a lot of your Delta T watches, your Aqua Dive, your Doxas, watches like that. So it's a very aggressive, masculine watch. I absolutely love it. You know, RGMT is a killer brand, and I wasn't sure, you know, when they were like, yeah, we're going to send you one, I was like, well, let's see what the quality is going to be like. Is it going to be like the new Bayo? It is. They're knocking it out of the park with this brand. And what's awesome about this brand is that they have so many watches that appeal to my taste. You know, RGMT, I already eyeballing several of these for my collection. So, you know, we'll see what we get next. I think you're going to see a lot more from this, again, parent company, Dartmouth Brands. I'm sure they want to share, you know, all their brands. This is great because, you know, there's not a big YouTube influence or presence on this brand. So I'm really excited to share with you guys. And without further ado, let's throw it on the wrist. I had a meeting today with I'm on the board of directors for my association. And you know, we had some landscaping discussions and, you know, some care calls and stuff like that. And I was like, you know, I was like running late, but forget it, I had to get this sucker sized, get it on the wrist and show it off. And without a doubt, it got noticed. So, I mean, just look at that bad boy. Just, I mean, just stunning. And like I said, guys, I think this design, I think Omega did something like this as well. And I think Steel Dive does something similar. And it's just a really great design. I love that they put that helium release valve off to the side. And nothing states dive watch like Shark Mesh. Again, quality Shark Mesh. So, just a great piece, man. I absolutely love it. And, you know, when I collaborate with companies, and I know I'm rambling about this, but when I collaborate with companies and, you know, they get back to me and they're like, I like when they give me the option to choose, you know, something that's going to work for me, because if I like what I'm reviewing, you're going to see that, right? Nobody can really, if they send me a watch that's absolutely not my style, it's going to be harder for me to really, I can, you know, still do it because I can still find the value and find the good things about it, but it's all that much more important when I really want the watch, that I really like it. So when they're like, we got another watch, we're going to send you, and I opened up that, you know, that email and I saw it was this one, I was like, sweet. It's killer. I mean, because I don't have anything like this in my collection. It is just stunning. So again, guys, for those who don't know, I have a 7-inch wrist. I weigh about 185 pounds. This is what a watch this size looks like. I got my size, my height, my weight. And I wish I could give you guys a lume shot on this here, and I will, again, when I re-review this watch, and you're going to see these watches on the channel many times, I'll have a better idea of what the lume looks like. Right now, I don't know. So hopefully it's, we'll see what it's like. They don't list the lume, again, disservice. They really need to list this stuff, because that is, you know, that could potentially be another check mark for folks. I'll tell you, Invicta watches, their lume sucks. Aragon, depends on the Aragon watch. Most are better than the Invictus. A lot of brands suck, right? Again, for me, it's not a big deal. When it comes to like Delta T, better. Aqua Dive, amazing. Steel Dive, amazing lume. So I'm really curious to see what the lume's going to look like in this. And just for the hell of it here, while we're BSing, let me just kind of shine this up and see if I can get an idea of what it might look like. I think right now, I mean, I just kind of shine that light on it. You probably can't see it on camera here with the ring light going, but I could already see it glowing. So I'm gonna guess here that this is gonna be as good as the Aqua Dive, as good as the Steel Dive. I can already see that it's really holding the light well just by cupping my hand over it after I just shined it for, what, 3 seconds. So I think they're going to knock it out of the park with this as well. So guys, thanks for watching the video. That was a long one, but I had a lot to say. I want to thank RGMT, or Nubeo, Dartmouth, for their generosity and wanting to collaborate with me and send me these watches. It's going to be an awesome collaboration, and definitely check this brand out. They're going to do very well. They just got to get their name out there a little more, and I'm telling you, these are the kind of watches you want in your collection. You know, we like unique watches. We like big, bold, masculine watches, and this one's killing it. So thanks for watching, guys. Do subscribe to the channel. Let me know if you have any questions, comments whatsoever. Drop them in the comment section. Have a fantastic day, and take care.